What's going on, guys? It's Cliffy here, and today, after some great form in the purple for the Hobart Hurricanes, we are making our one-day debut against the West Indies, and what a start! You can't ask for much better than that. Big inducker to start, and Coron Pollard just has no clue, no idea. And middle stump has just been absolutely castled, boys. And Pollard is on his way. No, he's got ton on the side of his bat. No ton for you today, boy. You are gone. See you later. West Indies 6 down. Still needing 175 of 143. So, just to, I guess, really sum up what has been going on in this career mode. We have been playing through the Big Bash. I think that is now just about finished. We have been selected for national duty, so of course we're not going to go and turn that down. There was, I believe, a test match series before this that I did actually turn down because I did want to play in the Big Bash. So I think we only played, out of the 3-game series, I think we did only play 1 game anyway, and didn't really go too great. So we're really forming at the moment into a limited overs player, limited overs all-rounder, which, you know, I'm not really too fussed about. Test matches in this game I'm not a huge fan of, just because of the length of time that they do take. They sometimes just seem to take for absolute ever, so I'm not really too fussed about that at all. If we can finish off here with the dot ball, we would start our one-day international career with a wicket maiden, and that is what we have done. Had we had a slightly more attacking field, possibly with a slip-in or a couple of slips, or even guys in the catching positions behind the wickets, we could have had a double wicket maiden to start things off. But really liking, I guess, being in this environment and just playing with all of these good players. Another good thing as well, there is no David Moody as captain, as we have seen in our Chris Lynn career mode, which I am very happy with, to be fair, because that is just so unrealistic. The guy hasn't even played an international game for Australia yet, and somehow he is the captain of the limited overs side. He has actually, I believe, just signed a deal with the Hurricanes, I believe for BBL. Are we in BBL 7 now? I think this is the 7th year of the Big Bash League, so that is incredible just how the tournament has really gone and taken off substantially. You know, it is probably, well, not probably, it is definitely the second biggest 2020 league behind the IPL. You can't really catch them, to be fair. And you know what, I'm just going to stick with this field because to Kemar Roach, we did have a few that came off the outside edge and just didn't happen to go and carry. Here we still do have players in catching positions, both onside and offside, and we do have those players saving the boundary on the league side as well. So can't really be too unhappy about that. Someone who probably will be a little bit unhappy at the moment is the Kiwis camp over in India. They played the first 2020 international on Thursday morning New Zealand time, and it just didn't, to be fair. What? Weather stoppage? It's not even raining. What are we stopping for? We're in Brisbane. The only thing I can think of is possibly there's a thunderstorm coming. But we've actually had a pretty good debut. We got a run out as well when we were simulating through. And the match has been delayed now to 43 overs. The West Indies require 298 from 43, so their run rate has actually gone up quite substantially, just due to the fact that they have lost 6 wickets at this stage. So they are going to have to start playing a bit more aggressively, which does bode well for me. Means potentially we can look at going and picking up a few more wickets as well. But anyway, back to that New Zealand game. I think India, Shikhar Dhawan and Rohit Sharma, I believe they opened up. I think they set possibly a 2020 record of the highest percentage of runs from an opening stand. So I think both of them scored 80. I don't know how many they got in their stand, in their partnership, but India managed to score, I think they scored 202, and New Zealand really didn't have any bowlers of note apart from Ish Sodhi, and a lot of people will probably be saying why this guy didn't take part in more games in the one-day internationals as well. I'm definitely one of them. I think he's one of those guys that is severely underrated by the New Zealand Cricket Board. We've seen what he can do in the Big Bash. He took 6 for the Adelaide Strikers. And I mean, especially over in Indian conditions and subcontinental conditions, you know, you got to play your spinners. And I think he is a very good spinner and a very underused spinner. I guess with the emergence of Mitchell Santner and the value that he offers with the bat as well, a lot of the times New Zealand do focus, I guess, on that seam bowling trio or quartet, depending on the wicket that they can go and call upon, and do seem to get the job done more often than not. But wasn't the case today. 202, and as I said, a lot of players just got absolutely spanked, as you would expect when you can see 200. Ish Sodhi, I think 2 for 25 was the pick of the bowlers. And going for just over 6 runs and over when a team does score 200 against you is a fairly good effort, and you do have to be pretty happy with that. In reply, it's a cheeky little shot from Darren Sammy. We do have that man, quite fine actually, at a fine leg, short fine leg, almost a catching leg slip, you would say, and that was it was pretty close to him, to be fair. So we won't be too concerned about that at all. But yeah, back to the Kiwis. Only scored 100. And, ooh, it's a big inducker, that one. That's like our first ball. I keep getting distracted trying to talk about the Kiwis because we are just bowling quite well. We're going to have a challenge because, you know, why not? But, yeah, back to the Kiwis. No one really getting any scores of note. They did only score 140, so finishing about 60 runs short. The only thing really that could save the batsman here is an edge, but there was a lot of confidence, and I think there is just a little inside edge. Oh, no inside edge on that one. So it's pitched outside. The impact is outside off, so that's why it has been given not out, even though it is going on to hit the top of middle and leg. But the umpire's decision will remain not out because the impact was just outside off, which is just a little bit of a shame because that was a very good ball and a very good shout as well. The confidence from both bowler and wicketkeeper was very high. And next ball we see Kemar Roach going aggressive, I guess just trying to make up for getting hit on the pad. He has almost gone and got himself out, to be fair, but New Zealand will need to pick up their act in the last two 2020 games. I think they do have the calibre of players there to get the job done, but just need everything to come right. Kane Williamson's had a pretty quiet series. Tom Latham has been good in the middle order, as has Ross Taylor. Both of them scored runs. Colin Munro has been quiet at the top, and so surprisingly has Martin Guptill. It is surprising how so much hinges on him at the top of the order. If New Zealand are going to chase down a total, you know, or set a good total, it really does depend on him. And I think having Guptill and Munro both at the top, you know, not really players, I guess, that complement each other a whole lot because they are very similar players. They both like to play aggressively, both like to score fast and score in boundaries. So really need, I guess, one of those guys. I would prefer Guptill, and that's a second wicket for us. We get Sammy. That's a good catch from Matty Wade to get rid of. I don't want to say the West Indies captain because I don't think he is the West Indies captain in this game. I'm not too sure who it is, but we do manage to get our second wicket of the game. It has brought in the left-hander, who I'm not too sure who he is, to be fair. So we are now going to go to cross-seam delivery. 7 down now are the West Indies, and they are going to need to start making some inroads shortly, you would say, because that required run rate has now shot up to 15. And basically, with every 1 and every 2, that is going to continue to go up at quite a rapid rate. So 137 of 53 left to go. We've got 2 for 13 on our debut, so that return is pretty handy, both in terms of wickets and in terms of run rate as well. And I'm just hoping, because we do have, you know, a few overs here at the death of the game, that potentially we can look at trying to go and pick up a couple when they're trying to up that run rate, try and hit some big shots, and hopefully they can go and pick out some fielders out in the deep, or even in close. You know, we have found the edge a couple of times as well. So fingers crossed we can go and do that. Don't really have a whole lot else to talk about, to be fair. So I'm kind of hoping that we can wrap this game up sooner rather than later. Just because I am now out of ideas. I don't think there's any other series that are going on at the moment. I talked about some Big Bash League signings, and there we go. Kemar Roach, we get our third, boys. And the Australian selectors will be thinking, why did we not pick this guy earlier? He picks up wickets. He's economical. I mean, coming to the end of our 5th over, we have only gone so far for 15. Got 3 wickets. We've found the edge again. I'm very tempted, to be fair, to put some slips in, especially to this tail, because we are 2 wickets away from a 5 and a 5 for on debut would be a very prestigious goal, I guess you would say, especially with the quality of bowling that is in this side. When you look at Pattinson, Mitchell Stark's in there as well, and that one there, if that's given a wide, I was going to say, if you gave that a wide umpire, I would absolutely have blown up then. That just missed the leg stump. It must have, to be fair, it must have almost clipped the leg stump. It was that close. But we do want to try and get Shane Shillingford on strike so we can get rid of this left-hander, because for some reason or another, I just seem... At the start of the game, when the game did first come out, I was really good against left-handers. Like, I would pick them up all the time, caught behind. However, not so the case now. And right-handers, I just seem to get quite often, just bowling those induckers, whether it's bowled or it does take the edge, which we have seen a couple of times in this game. But hopefully we can go and do it here. Shillingford has now moved off the mark. With 43 overs in the game, I'm guessing we probably can only bowl, I'd say... The way I would work it out is for 43 overs is that you would have 2 guys who could bowl 8 overs, and I believe 3 guys who could bowl 9. I think my maths are possibly correct there. 27 plus 16 is 43, so it is correct. We did manage to find the edge there of Campbell's bat, so we possibly after this only have another 2 overs left to go. And we've found the edge again. My God, it just seems to be the case that we find edges all the time, and I don't really want to go and make the field too more attacking, because I think it's just one of those things. If we do make it more attacking, then we will probably go and get taken for some runs. We've had a pretty good return so far. They have lost their 9th wicket as well, so they are 9 down. Just 1 left to get, and hopefully we can go and do it here. Ravi Rampal has come out to the crease. He's 15 off 10. Campbell's still down there, so Shillingford the man to go. And there is just 2 overs left to go. So this is going to be our last over that we do bowl. And as I said, if we could manage to somehow... Oh my God, see, look at that. I was going to say, if we could somehow manage to pick up this last wicket in these last 4 balls, oh, that would just be a debut to remember. Rampal left-handed as well, so not really going in our favour too much. I am going to try and bowl a few that do come back into them. And as we can see, the edges are just coming. They're just not quite carrying, and I am, as I said, a little bit nervous. This is how I guess this is how I play an outdoor cricket as well. You know, I don't really want to go and have the field too attacking, especially in the situation that it is. You know, we're doing pretty well. In outdoor, I am kind of I guess the guy who holds up an end, really, just bowling those medium paces. So that's why we haven't gone too much more attacking. Rampal does hit that one through, I guess, a mid-wicket, dragging it to the leg side, and that does leave 1 ball left to go. 1 wicket, come on, 4 for 19 off 7. What a dream start that would be to our one-day career, and it has just been nudged down the ground. It is just going to be a single. We finished 3 for 19 off 7 overs, which both wicket-wise and economy-wise is absolutely outstanding for the young gun on debut. We will definitely take that. Mitchell Stark is going to be the guy to finish things off, and I believe he has actually got the wicket to end things. So Australia win by 109 runs due to the Duckworth-Lewis system. High fives all around from everyone. Cliffy, get in there and get your high fives in. You're on debut, son, and you should be getting excited. So Steve Smith, 162 not out. Matthew Wade, 79 not out. Did mean that we did not get a bat, but we got the job done with the ball. 3 for 19, definitely the pick of the bowlers in my eyes. Let me know if you guys think the same in the comments. If you have enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like, give it a thumbs up if you are new, please do subscribe. And until next time, ka kite anō, see you soon.